vibes, yeah, I'm vibing out. Sun's up in the sky, so we're smiling now. We're splashing on the rapids and we're sliding down. Watch out for the waves, cause they're wild and out. Yeah, we keep the vibe alive, you better hold on tight. It's a wavy ride, sit back, cause we're gonna go side to side. It's a rumba rap, the park vibes are live.
Okay, welcome back to Thorpe Park, and it is volume 2 of Park Vibes here. What you heard there is the Rocky Express starting. There's a funny little noise that it makes now. I think it is actually part of the sound effects, which is really cool. I've not heard it before. Now, in our opening there, you would have seen some new music from the Rumba Rapids. You know, we covered a fair bit when we came first time at the park. However, this time we're going to cover a little bit more music, some different rides, some of the station themes, and actually get on some rides as well. We want to get in Black Mirror, and I definitely want to do Darren Brown's Ghost Train. I've got tickets booked, so fingers crossed, no problems. Park Vibes is on, and it's carrying on going until the 24th of July, so a little bit longer left yet of the event. And of course, we've been round as well, and I actually have some show times down by Darren Brown's Ghost Train. Now, from what I've seen on the other ones, there isn't anything else, it's just down there. But yeah, really interesting to see some of the changes that have happened already, even to like the flags and having a little table and various other bits and pieces as well. So onwards we go. We've got some riding to do, we've got some shows to see. Here's an attraction I haven't done for absolutely ages, and it is of course The Walking Dead, formerly X No Way Out. This was shut at the beginning of the year due to the pandemic, and was shut last time I came with Kurt. So today, I'm going to The Walking Dead a bash, because it's been a long time. Let's see if anything's changed. So there's obviously no pre-show, but I don't remember coming on this last season. I don't think it opened last season, actually, did it? We didn't come on it last season. It's been a good 18 months, possibly 2 years, since I've been on Walking Dead. And I know it's not an amazing, like, you know, attraction, but I have to say, this walkthrough here, for what you can see of it, because it does feel really dark in here today, is really well themed, really well put together. I do kind of wonder, when the Walking Dead franchise ends, exactly what they're going to do. Now, I know you can't see anything on the camera, and if it helps, I can't see a bloody thing either. Literally not. Yep, literally can't see a thing. One thing we want to try though, and kind of make some progress, is the Rumba Rapids. Rapids. So you can probably hear the soundtrack around here. We did use it at the start of the video as well. We didn't go on it last time. We didn't even hear the soundtrack last time, which is why we are back at the park to check it out. And I haven't been on the Rapids for a few years either. Feels like I never go on them. So yeah, next stop, over to the Rapids. Now the Rapids isn't one we went on last time, but everyone's been raving about the music on here. So whilst we wander through the queue, the Rumba Rap. How do we feel about the Rumba Rap? Right, nice early morning. Time to grab on the Rapids. Splash to the left, splash to the right. This has been specifically done for Rumba Rapids. Got to give them credit for that.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right you should play with your feelings. Every sun can lead to the sound.
Get ready to launch faster and let it out. From the front to the back row. Heads back, face forward, show.
Walking down towards Black Mirror, Samurai has indeed given up once again this season. It's not even in a resting position, to be honest. It's actually off the ground, which I find quite peculiar. No work going on it, no one around, no one on the gate. I certainly don't think, it says it's closed today, so I certainly don't think it'll open today. Might be time though, might be time to put Samurai out of its misery, to be honest. It seems to be suffering every time we come to the park. It's closed, or not running, or broken down. It just seems like that maybe after a stint at Chesington, even, you know, the refurbish now, you got to think was a long time ago, you know, 15 plus years ago they went for an extensive refurbish. As far as I'm aware, I haven't had one since then. I think maybe it's time to have a rethink on this. Just while we're passing as well, it's been a long time since we've had a look at Loggers Leap. Obviously the station area was used for the scare maze. The Creek Saw Mills, a couple of years ago now, it didn't open last year, just had a little walk through, but I mean, abandon all hope I think at this reopening. Now the old arcade machines have actually had some of the old branding put on. Wicked Witch, She's Horn on there. The end is coming, obviously relating to the Swarm, the Rangers, Loggers Leap, Mr. Rabbit, Space Station Zero, look, then put in with X as well. That does look fantastic. And these are mirrored on all of these ones, including the ones that are over there. Now the murals here, we're gonna have a little look at the mural in a minute. So we've just come from Black Mirror. I have to say, I still think that is really re-rideable, Black Mirror, and the reason being is that the mazes that are kind of dotted around, I think the first one's quite, you'd be unlucky to get lost in the first part of the maze. The second one with the projection room, you could definitely get lost in those. Round and round in circles. She told us the record so far is 45 minutes of someone inside that attraction. Our average is around about 7.5, sometimes I've got out quicker. I think my longest is sort of 14 minutes-ish. And of course the mirror maze, you know, it doesn't matter how many times you go on it, you just you can't plan a route from the word go. I challenge you, let me know, do you think you can get through it really quick? Do you think you can get through it first time as well? It's very disorientating, there's no markers, there's nothing to aim for. Love it, absolutely love it. Now this mural, which is around here, so last time we came, this was a black wall. Now I appreciate it's not finished before anyone says anything. So we've obviously got the Thorpe Park logo going around. At the top right there, I don't know if you can see, it says a Colossus. I can't work out what it says on the top left. Bottom left, you've got Nemesis Inferno. I mean, I don't know how much of it is done, but I won't lie to you, at the moment, it don't look great. I assume the plane, I guess, is going to have something to do with the Swarm, maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? How much of this do you think is actually finished? How much do you think they're coming back from? I would imagine they've just put the outline in so far. But again, whilst they've treated this wall, the rest of the walls look a bit naff. A little bit naff. But I'm guessing this is generally where the stage is going to go, which is why it's lifted up, and this will be a backdrop for the stage. That would certainly be my guess anyway. Be interesting to see how that develops over the next couple of weeks. We'll be back. We're back to keep an eye on it. However, believe it or not, our next destination is Darren Brown's Ghost Train. Rise of the Demons. Now, I haven't been on this for a couple of years. I've heard it's changed this year, so I'm quite interested to see. Everything is on time tickets. I managed to get time tickets to get on these today. Darren Brown looks like it's still got a queue. Just walked past it. It looks like it still has a queue. Black Mirror didn't. Black Mirror, we walked straight onto it. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or not. I don't understand why it's got a queue. Let's go and find out.
Beach, are you ready?
Yes!
Volunteers, are you ready? It doesn't matter. Alright, now ladies and gentlemen, what's gonna happen next? Beach over there, he's gonna need all your energy. So everybody, clap your hands at the same time. Louder, faster, stronger, now make some noise! Here we go! Big grand finale! Hey, what a jump!
It's open. It's actually open. Well, that was an experience, to say the least. So that was a bit of an experience getting to Ben & Jerry's. It's the first time that we've used that outlet. First time I've seen it open, really, to actually use. Now, oddly enough, the cookies one was closed over the other side, which I found a bit strange because I think that's now park owned. So yeah, a bit weird. It's been quite warm today, so it's a little bit weird it's closed. As you saw by that, it's whilst it's quite generous scooping, we waited 15 minutes to get inside for an ice cream. And when we get in there, the two people that were taking orders just put a couple of tickets up and walked off. Another guy comes back in, I'm not going to name him, another guy walks back in and says, are you being served, whilst people are clearly paid and waiting? And he looks at the reels of the ticket and goes, oh. So that was lovely, delightful. That kind of language continued. He's got an ear, you know, he's got a headphone in where he's listening to music in one ear. The poor other guy in there then comes in to help him. He goes, no mate, I don't need any help because, you know, there's hardly a queue, is there? We waited 15 minutes and the queue was twice the length. So yeah, very odd. Very odd. No milkshakes, no core sundaes again. It seems to be a theme now when we go to the parks that they're, you know, less so in Legoland, to be honest. They haven't done the core sundaes yet. We usually get milkshakes from there, but no core sundaes there. Chessington obviously stopped theirs. Thorpe Park are advertising it, you know, after quite a long queue. I know the guy behind us was getting a little bit annoyed that he queued that long and they didn't have it. But yeah, interesting. Interesting. Now, before this melts, I'll quickly sum up Darren Brown's Ghost Train, which was our stop after Black Labyrinth. It needs to go. It's had its time. You know, it hasn't been open that long. I appreciate it. I was expecting wonderful new things for this year. It just didn't materialise. We queued for ages. Honestly, 45, 50 minutes. The whole experience was about an hour and 20 in the end. Just outrageously long. Really, really was. That's on a time ticket. Nothing's really changed. You go in, the pre-show's there. You know, the pre-show hasn't changed, hasn't been shortened. You go through, and then at the top of the stairs, they're kind of, I don't know whether they just need to stall or what really. They kind of go through a story that's, you know, evolved, I'd say, over time. Completely different to what it was. They then assign you 4 numbers. You think maybe that's for batching purposes. You find out later that it's not really for anything, to be honest with you. You sit on the train, you try to adjust your headset. If you find a headset that works, you never get it. You never get it right. I mean, I'm looking straight ahead. It's not there. I have to look sort of down at an angle in order to see something. You know, I've never had a problem with the first half of the Ghost Train. I've never had a problem with it, to be honest with you. I think it's quite good the way it's laid out. If it works, it's not too bad. And then you get off and you'll rush through, again, what looks like a scare maze. I prefer it how it originally was, where you went round and this train looked like it was coming towards you. That effect's now gone as well. And you line up against the wall and then she shouts, we need to get out of here, what's the numbers? At which point everyone's already forgotten because you've been in there ages and you're bored. And then you try to remember 1 to 4 and then they spend, I don't know how long trying to punch these numbers in, honestly. Just, I don't know. And you get back on the train, you go for the second half of the sequence. Now, I think the last time I watched it, I don't know whether there's various ending sequences now. The last time I watched it, it was definitely the city that burned down. And now you just sort of sit on the train and you go down to hell and it finishes. It's very weak, very weak. And I will say as well, the graphics of the demons really haven't aged well at all. They look dreadful, they really do. And then when you get out, you still go out to the Ouija board, in which the guy says, wait here, so you all wait there. He then disappears off from behind the counter to go and be the scare person. So there's no demon anymore, he's just there with something draped over his head. By which point, I'm trying to get out the ride, he comes back and goes, well, you know, what's going on? I was like, I'm bored, I just want to leave. You know, rip it out. Rip it out, I'm really sorry, rip it out and put a decent Ghost Train in there. You know, everyone said the ground's not big enough for anything decent. That's a lie. Wicked Witch's Haunt was on smaller ground. You know, Ninjago, I would argue, is on smaller ground. There are so many possibilities that don't involve VR and involve a really interactive, dare I say, family ride, which I think is what the park needs. But yeah, Darren Brown's Ghost Train, what do you think? Leave your comments below. Does it have much time left at the park? I'm not so convinced, but I'm not going to eat my ice cream before it melts.
Laughs really crazy. Like, he knows something I didn't. trò phụ dẹt mà nó thường là pencils are pigtails in particulars. I say it's one fancy car you're driving, son. I reckon you must have a mighty rich car if you're a car like that.
A wonderful flags down here of Park Vibes, and we did say last time these barrels didn't look good. They're little tables now. I quite like that. I'm not offended by the tables. I still like the bottom bits to be painted, but I'm not offended by the tables. And that's been added to all of these around the resort. Can you please call your answer? So we just headed over to Stealth then, just before we showed you the flags, to have a look at the BMX guy. I have to say, much like some of the other acts we've seen, they just didn't really look into it. Just didn't look into it at all, to be honest with you. There's very little interaction, there's very little sort of G up and go. He just sort of cycles around in circles, falling off. And here it is. Which is your favourite? There's Inferno. There's Colossus. Little pin badge still with it, pair of socks. Or would you prefer the Swarm, lovely embroidered, or Stealth? I have to say I'm a little bit torn on which one I think I prefer. I think I prefer the Nemesis Inferno or Swarm. There we go, Thorpe Park Resort, Park Vibes. The last time we're coming back for Park Vibes this was, so Volume 2. Volume 2, what do we think? Actually, you know, it's been quite a good day, to be honest. No school groups here today, which is always a bonus because it causes loads of problems. And I have to say, the atmosphere has been really, really good. The atmosphere actually has been superb in the park. That hasn't come from the staff, don't get me wrong. We met a lovely lady on Black Lab Room. She was really chatty, she was talking to me. You know, she let us in a couple of minutes early on the time ticket. She was lovely to speak to at all. We haven't unfortunately bumped into anyone else that's really shown any interest in the day at all, from these guys that speak to everyone like that, to the you know, person in the to the person in the scoop shop who was swearing with earphones in. Yeah, it's really sad, to be honest with you. I have to say, the music on Rumba Rapids is my favourite, undoubtedly my favourite. I think it's fantastic, really fantastically put together, and it suits the ride that it could actually keep it, definitely keep it. Now, of course, went on Swarm today as well, went into the Swarm. It's the first time I'd heard the station music in the Swarm. Now, funny enough, the music outside I think is really good. I wouldn't want to see it stay permanently, but I think it's really good. The music in the station I don't like at all. I don't like it at all. It creates no atmosphere, it creates no ambience, and doesn't really feel like it's got anything to do with it. But generally, it's really well put together, Park Vibes. There's a lovely atmosphere. There are a few acts, as I said, you will have to pick and choose your acts. Some of them are better than others. You know, we've seen a couple today. We saw one we saw last time who we didn't think was very good. We saw a lovely girl actually down by the picnic station. She sounded really nice. She was smiling and very interactive with people. So yeah, it is a bit of a pick and choose on that front. We stopped to see the dancers again. I still think they're the best act, and we had high hopes for the BMX. I saw a few pictures of it last weekend and thought, yeah, gonna get back and see that. And as you just seen then, it doesn't seem to have much, just no oomph behind it. Just expected just a little bit more from them. I don't know, is it me? Let me know in the comments, is it me? I imagine everyone takes this advantage to say it is, but is it me? Thorpe Park though, Thorpe Park. Got on the rides today. The only ride that's been shut all day long is Samurai. There's been a few up and downs with Saw, Vortex and Rush, but everything's open, and to be honest, queues have been really good and the throughput has been excellent. It really has been excellent. So massive credit to Thorpe Park on that one. But from Thorpe Park Resort, my name's Adam. Please remember to like and subscribe. We're still going places over the summer. Don't know where yet, but we're going some places. And of course, come along for the adventure. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.